I think everybody knows this has been an effort for about 2 years now. We really kind of started running with it about 2 years ago. About a year and a half, we really kind of sunk our teeth into it. And it was just over a year ago, I think you remember we were here putting the lines up on the screen, the map showing what we thought might possibly be built, okay? And so we issued an RFP. We had 8 came back in. And so it was the committee's job to look through it and kind of decide which one they thought might be the best choice or the best fit. So there's another thing that I used to say all the time, which was no. The Economic Development Committee would say, we need to cover every house in Kent County. I would say, no, it's not possible. We want to go fiber to the home. No, it's not possible. Well, I was wrong. I think that we have a solution that will provide gigabit service to the home pretty much across the board in Kent County. And so, that being said, you want to pass the not the awardee, but you guys, we had an online vote, and I ultimately abstained, but it was a unanimous decision by the board, and I think the superintendent, was that letter from the superintendent, or you?
It was written by me, but I have to share it all.
So, again, public safety, all the way up to the superintendent has been involved with this, and it was a unanimous decision to put this one forward. Again, I abstained from all voting. So, the committee's recommendation was
FTS.
Slapstone.
FTS.
And
I want to say, I did a lot of research, as being part of the committee, because I felt that I needed to be as informed as possible as what it could do for economic development for Kent County. And one of the things, through reading through case studies and the way that the commissioners went about putting out the RFP, and there's basically 2 ways that government can help with broadband access, especially in rural areas, because we know because of our demographics that it's tough for a broadband company to come in because of the market and the demographics of our community. So there's 2 things you can do, is that the first is a public entity can become a service provider. And the second one is to generate an incentive to get someone else to come in and be a provider. And in all the research that I read, that is the best possible solution, and that is what this solution does. Offers an incentive, but then the government is totally out of it, and it's a private industry. It boosts affordability. It also models that promote competition, and it also encourages market growth. And when you look at there's a whole lot of things that, I've done some research on about what it can do for families on a social level, but also what it can do for businesses as far as productivity and adding to the GDP and adding employment and raising incomes. So, I have a lot of information. I don't want to share all that tonight, but I do feel that from all the research I did, that this is the best possible solution for Kent County.
The company that was selected is also bringing a very substantial investment to the county. Redundancy was a big deal. Okay, self-healing. So if something breaks, it has an alternate path. There was that. Other than that, it was generally very broad. We had 54 anchor institutions. And that was the intention. Was we have a number connected right now with one network, but there was a lot out there that weren't connected. What we wanted to offer was to the towns to connect every police department, town hall, library branch, and that has been realized. All 54, I think, are on this proposal. So, in theory, we could, help the towns out a lot more by building into them. And, we're going to every structure, so what we need to emphasize here is an open access network, okay? So although the dark fiber provider that is constructing this is bringing someone with them, they have someone as part of their bid, they have been quite clear that if anyone else, anybody, an incumbent, anybody new wants to come in, they can lease fibers from this particular company. So it would seem at face value to very much encourage competition and growth, and perhaps even offer an upgrade for some people to transmit, in theory. So that was an important part of this, was to see the open access. Now, I know that wasn't written into it, but again, that was always the intention. That was going to be one of those metrics that we would hold against to see what the best value was. And there were a couple of proposals in there that offered that. I would actually say probably the majority of them all came back open access. So they did include, in this one, they included 110 approximate miles of fiber for the backbone, I believe. And again, I know they're here tonight, so if I'm saying anything wrong, they can stand up and let me know. There's going to be 6 rings included, going all the way out from Rock Hall to Millington area, north, south, east, and west. There's rings pretty much everywhere. Even just Chestertown itself will have its own self-healing ring. They are offering 18 strands to every county site, correct?
To the county as a whole.
To the county, yeah, to the county, okay. They're offering as part of their package 1 gigabit of internet service.
Yep.
Correct. And again, anchor institutions are 54, and we have grilled them about this over and over. And
Keep up and down?
Yes.
And
I expect you to answer.
well, I know, I'm looking at him because I'm committing him to we put him through the ringer to see if we were accurate, but I want him to answer that. And they would like to offer to 99.9% of the homes in Kent County fiber to the home.
That number again?
99.9%, and I'm getting the nod again, because I did the same thing you did.
So no matter
How?
where we have a home, whether it's Swan Creek down on the end of, down in Rock Hall,
I know we
That is
sent,
correct,
yeah,
yes.
we sent them the KMZ, it was we chose a spot down on the end of, like, was it Johnsontown Road, out on the up point.
that's our furthest point that way.
Whoever's home that was, if they're here, I asked on their behalf, we asked on their behalf, will this be connected? And they said yes. Rates, okay?
Yes.
Okay. It would be a one-time fee of $400 to hook them up to the fiber network,
Regardless where they're at.
regardless.
Maximum
Correct.
$400.
$400 one-time fee, hook your home up to what is in essence a new utility. It is $99 a month, as we understand, and it would be gigabit to the home for $99. So, let's see what else we've got.
You take American Express.
What exactly, just go back to the open access and explain that just a little bit more.
Sure, okay, so say you're a provider, you're an incumbent or a prospective provider, okay? You can now contact, if they're chosen as the awardee, this company, and say, what would it take to lease fibers to get from point A to point Z? Okay, if I want to offer service in Rock Hall, okay, or Galena or something like that, and I only want dark fiber service, you can go to them and lease that from them. They don't care, correct? I mean, it is just wide open. So, even though they have somebody interested, and the plan you described is actually their partner that they're bringing in, they're not putting any roadblocks up to anyone competing with their own partner. And, I don't know that this is a number that we can discuss in open session, but the amount of money that they brought to the table is just enormous. So, we have these details. Can we talk about the international? Not the specific details, but where the tops will be?
Yes.
Okay. So it will be an international access, okay? International access through 2 points of presence in Kent County. So the town of Millington and the town of Chestertown will now be able to, describe themselves as communities with international fiber optic points of presence. There will be 2, they're asking for 20-year leases on two 75 by 75-foot parcels of land to put their facilities. And I think we all know how important that might be to Millington at this moment. And if you want to talk about the jobs,
Yeah, the ISP provider that they're going to, that is partnering with them is actually going to come into the county and open a business. And they're going to have at least 10 employees in the town of Millington, if that's where they choose to lease property, which would make sense. So wherever that's going to be, that would be at least 10 employees. And in addition to that, they need a site to train people for other areas. And that has the potential to be the training area for other technicians.
Is their goal to expand on the shore?
they mentioned that in the meeting, so, I mean, if you want to ask them, they're right there. So.
Are you planning to expand across the entire shore?
We are building a backbone through the entire eastern shore from Cape Charles to, as proposed through Kent County, across the Chesapeake Bay and Sparrow Point.
Which ultimately connects back to basically the heart of the internet.
Yes, into Ashburn, Virginia. That's our core construction project is from Virginia Beach and crossing the bay at the south side into Cape Charles, coming by land across the eastern shore and through Kent County, across into Baltimore, and then coming north through Ashburn. So we're a diverse route away from the core internet traffic that runs the 95 and railroad routes of the western side of the bay. We have a few international customers that bring cables in by water to Virginia Beach and have requested diverse and secure underground fiber from Virginia Beach to Ashburn, Virginia.
What's your estimated time of build out for the whole county?
Our customer commitment through our Virginia Beach customers is by the end of 2017. So within 2 years, that backbone across the eastern shore has to be complete, and that's the same timeline that overlaps with the project as we proposed it.
And they are tied, so homes that will be available to be connected will be tied to the anchor institution build out. And I think the first year was 33, and then the second year was 21, okay? So I think you said an estimate of 1,000 homes within.
We committed the homes that are closest to the backbone in your initial 33 buildings, we would have in service before the end of the year. And as we are completing the rest of the county and able to expand off of that backbone, we will be able to service the remainder of the homes throughout the second year of the contract.